After hearing the news this week about the abundant cases of child abuse by clergy in Pennsylvania, I suspect I'm not the only one who has passed through phases of anger, disgust, fear, and sadness. Those acts are terrible and shameful, and they mar the beauty of the church, which is meant to shine as a beacon of light and hope in a darkened world. Instead, because of the horrifying actions of some priests and bishops, it seems that we have only contributed to the darkness. Of course, this is what all sin does. It contributes to the darkness and hides the beauty that God has created. I received a message from a priest friend a few days ago that has really helped me immensely. He shared the words of St. John Paul II, who said, "It's better to cry tears than to be angry, because anger hurts others, while tears flow silently through the soul and cleanse the heart." It seems to me that this is the appropriate and hopeful response to such evil acts. To cleanse our hearts with tears if necessary, but above all with mercy. The sins of some call all of us to greater holiness. Because while there is sin in this world, there is a need for witnesses who show another way. A way that embraces the struggles of humanity and lifts them up to God. A way that acknowledges the hunger of the human heart and provides for it the bread of life. Jesus says to us in our gospel, "The bread that I will give is my flesh for the life of the world." His offering is for the life of the world. It's not for his own benefit. It's not for his own pleasure. It's not so that his life can be more comfortable. It is for the life of the world. And we become more and more a Eucharistic people when we embrace this way of living. Our lives are for the sake of the world. They're meant to rise up to the Lord like incense so that they lift up the human heart beyond the limits of this world. The Eucharist is in itself not just something or someone we receive, but it is a way of living. It's an experience of being embraced and sent on a mission for the sake of the world. Because this is what Jesus himself came to do, to embrace us and send us on a mission for the sake of the world. And so, friends, this is why no matter what vocation we are living, the Eucharist is the place where we recommit ourselves to living it well. Every Eucharistic celebration is a moment for us to remember that our lives find their meaning when they are offered for the sake of the world. All of us, by the way that we live and love and respond to our brothers and sisters, should express what we hear Jesus say to us every time in this Eucharist. "This is my body, given up for you. This is my blood, poured out for you, for you, for you, for others, for the sake of the world." Never are we meant to hide away or withhold the blessings that we have received. The movement is always outward. It is always for the sake of the world. And so if we have strayed in our vocation, if we've been unfaithful, if we have forgotten what it means to give ourselves for the sake of another person or for the sake of the church, this is our reminder. Do this in memory of me. Do this in memory of me. This is my body given for you. This is my blood poured out for you. Do this in memory of me. Do this. Offer yourself as Christ offers himself to you. Do this for the sake of the world. St. Paul says it to us very clearly in his letter to the Romans. I urge you, therefore, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God, your spiritual worship. Friends, how much we need to hear these words. Do not conform yourselves to this age, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and pleasing and perfect. This world is transformed when we begin to imitate more and more what we hear in this Eucharist. Do this in memory of me. This is my body given for you. This is my blood poured out for you. The more we embrace this way of living, the more we become a gift to our brothers and sisters, the more we generate hope and unity in a broken and darkened world. Friends, today let's beg the Lord that our lives might be a banquet that is described in the book of Proverbs, a banquet that is good and pleasing and perfect, so that those who hunger for the presence of God, the bread of life, might discover him in an encounter with us.